Britain is about to experience a truly rare and complex weather event, as three powerful and distinct systems converge over the UK at the same time. This is not something that happens often, and it's set to bring a dramatic mix of conditions across the country. A plume of mild, moist air is pushing up from the south, bringing with it warmer temperatures and a sense of early spring. At the same time, a stubborn area of high pressure is trying to keep skies clear and settled, while cold Arctic air surges down from the north, threatening to plunge parts of the country back into winter. This rare atmospheric clash will create a sharp weather divide, with some regions basking in unseasonable warmth and sunshine, while others are gripped by a wintry chill, snow, and icy winds. The contrast will be striking, and the weather could change rapidly from one area to the next. Heavy rain is expected to fall on ground that's already saturated from previous downpours, raising the risk of flooding in vulnerable areas. Rivers and streams could quickly overflow, and waterlogged roads may become hazardous for drivers. The Met Office has responded by issuing multiple yellow weather warnings, alerting the public to the potential for travel disruption, power outages, and localized flooding. It's important to stay updated as the situation develops. The weather will vary dramatically by region. Expect spring-like scenes in the south, with blooming flowers and green parks, while the north could see snow-covered streets and a return to wintry conditions. The main concern is water, relentless rain in some areas, disruptive snow in others. Flooding and travel delays are likely, and those in affected regions should take extra care on the roads and be prepared for sudden changes in the weather. The jet stream is the driving force behind this collision, steering these weather systems together and shaping the story from midweek right through to the weekend. Its position will determine which areas see the worst of the rain, snow, or wind. Expect a mild, wet start to the week, followed by a wintry turn by Friday, as colder air takes hold, and then a brief period of calm on Saturday before the next system arrives. This guide will break down what to expect each day, helping you plan ahead, make informed decisions, and stay safe during this extraordinary week of weather. Let's dive into the day-by-day forecast and see how this rare weather collision will unfold across Britain. Wednesday, February 11th, will highlight a striking weather divide across the UK, with the country split between two very different climates. As a new weather front sweeps in, the contrast between north and south becomes especially pronounced, setting the stage for a day of dramatic weather changes. Southern England will feel unusually mild for this time of year, with London reaching up to 13 degrees, well above the seasonal average. Many in the capital and surrounding areas may be surprised by the almost spring-like warmth, a welcome break from the chillier days of winter. However, don't expect blue skies or sunshine. Instead, the south will be blanketed by thick cloud and persistent rain, making it feel damp and gray, despite the higher temperatures. Umbrellas and raincoats will be essential for anyone heading outdoors. Western cities like Bristol and Cardiff will also experience this mild spell, but the weather will be breezy, with gusty winds adding a chill to the air. The combination of wind and rain will make it feel less pleasant, even as temperatures remain above average. In the Midlands and northern England, the story changes. Here, temperatures drop to around 8 degrees, and the skies remain stubbornly overcast. Spells of rain will move through, keeping things damp and cool, and making it a day to stay wrapped up warm. Scotland faces the most dramatic weather of all. Cold air holds firm across the region, and a yellow warning for heavy rain is in place, signaling the potential for disruptive conditions. Up to 60 millimeters of rain could fall on already saturated ground, raising the risk of flooding in vulnerable areas. Rivers may swell, and fields could become waterlogged, so local residents should stay alert for updates. In cities like Glasgow and Edinburgh, it will feel much colder than in the south, with a biting wind cutting through the streets. People will need to bundle up against the chill, as the wind makes it feel even colder than the thermometer suggests. As the day progresses, rain will gradually turn to snow over the Scottish hills, creating hazardous travel conditions. Drivers should be prepared for slippery roads and reduced visibility, especially in higher areas. The contrast between a mild, rainy south and a cold, snowy north truly defines Wednesday's weather, with the UK experiencing two very different seasons at once. So, whether you're enjoying the mild air in the south or bracing for wintry conditions in the north, be sure to check your local forecast and prepare for very different conditions depending on where you are. Wednesday night into Thursday sees weather patterns intensify. England and Wales will endure persistent, sometimes heavy rain, heightening flood risks. The main hazard is waterlogged roads and rising river levels. In Scotland, dropping temperatures turn rain to snow, especially in the Highlands and Grampians. Key routes like the A9 and A82 may face major disruption. Drivers should check conditions before traveling. Snow will be wet and heavy, making travel treacherous. Thursday's commute in England and Wales will be hampered by surface water and poor visibility. In Scotland, snow could isolate rural communities and make travel impossible in some areas. Stay vigilant overnight. Monitor flood alerts in England and Wales and travel warnings in Scotland. Prepare emergency kits if you must travel through affected areas. Thursday morning will be challenging nationwide. Thursday dawns gray and damp across the UK. Thick cloud and drizzle will dominate, with poor visibility, especially on higher ground. Southern England faces another spell of heavy rain, raising flood concerns in places like Southampton, Brighton, and London. The Midlands and North remain cloudy and damp, with even moderate rain adding to waterlogged conditions. Outdoor activities will be limited, and travel will be slow and hazardous. Farmers face waterlogged fields, and daily life is disrupted by the relentless damp. There's little change expected, just more gray skies and drizzle. Thursday is a day to endure, as we await a major weather shift on Friday. Friday marks a dramatic turning point in the weather, as a surge of Arctic air sweeps down from the north, pushing aside the recent spell of mild, wet conditions. This cold front is set to bring a noticeable and rapid change, catching many off guard as temperatures tumble. As the Arctic air arrives, temperatures drop sharply across the country. Rain quickly gives way to sleet and snow, especially in northern and eastern regions, transforming familiar landscapes into wintry scenes. The air feels much colder, and the dampness is replaced by a biting chill. Cities such as York, Hull, and Newcastle will experience bursts of wintry flurries, with snow swirling through city centers and settling on rooftops and pavements. Sleet and wet snow could reach as far south as the East Midlands, with places like Nottingham and Leicester seeing their first taste of winter this season. On higher ground, including the hills of the Peak District, snow will begin to settle, creating a classic winter landscape and making for some stunning views. The Yorkshire Dales will also see a fresh blanket of snow, while the mountains of North Wales are expected to receive even heavier accumulations. In Snowdonia, several centimeters of snow could fall, transforming the landscape into a winter wonderland, but also creating hazardous conditions for walkers and drivers alike. With the arrival of snow and ice, the main risks now shift from flooding to slippery surfaces. Roads and pavements will become treacherous, especially in rural and hilly areas, so extra caution is needed. The sudden plunge in temperature will be a real shock to the system after the recent mild spell. It's important to dress in layers, wear hats and gloves, and keep warm, especially for the very young and elderly. Friday's abrupt change is a stark reminder of just how quickly the UK's weather can turn, with sunshine one moment and snow the next. If you're planning to travel, especially in the north or at higher elevations, be prepared for snow and ice. Check local forecasts and road conditions before setting out, and allow extra time for journeys. In just a matter of hours, the nation will transition from damp and gray to crisp and wintry, as Arctic air takes hold and transforms the landscape. Saturday, February 14th, brings a welcome change. Crisp winter sunshine for most of the UK, high pressure builds, clearing clouds and ending the rain and snow. Expect a dry, cold and bright day from London to Edinburgh. A sharp frost will start the day, so watch for ice on untreated surfaces. The sunshine will lift spirits and offer a perfect chance to get outdoors. Wrap up warm, as the air remains cold despite the sun. This brief pause allows the ground to begin drying and everyone to recover from the week's disruptions. Enjoy this classic winter's day. It's a rare respite in a turbulent month. Flood risk is a major concern this week, not just from new rain but from weeks of saturated ground. Any additional rainfall will quickly run off into rivers, raising them rapidly. Environmental agencies are on high alert, with flood warnings issued across England, Scotland, and Wales. Residents in at-risk areas must check official updates and be ready to act. Flooding can close roads, disrupt trains, and threaten homes and businesses. Prepare a flood kit and move valuables upstairs if you're in a floodplain. Know the difference. A flood alert means be prepared. A warning means take immediate action. Sign up for free alerts from government websites. The number of warnings is likely to rise as rain continues. Staying informed is your best defense. Take steps now to protect your family and property. Severe weather will disrupt travel across the UK this week. Roads will be hazardous, especially on Wednesday and Thursday, with heavy rain and surface water reducing visibility and increasing braking distances. Allow extra time for journeys and reduce speed to avoid aquaplaning. By Friday, snow and ice will threaten northern and higher routes. Rail services face delays and cancellations from flooding and, later, snow. Check before you travel. Major airports should operate normally, but strong winds and snow could cause delays, especially in Scotland. Always check your flight status before heading to the airport. Preparation and flexibility are key. Check forecasts and travel updates before any journey. If advised not to travel, heed the warning. For essential journeys, ensure your vehicle is winter-ready and pack an emergency kit. Patience will be vital as weather dictates the pace of travel. Saturday's sunshine is a brief break. Unsettled weather will return soon. The jet stream remains active, bringing more wind and rain from the Atlantic through late February. Flood risk will persist, as saturated ground can't absorb much more water. Communities hit by flooding must stay vigilant, as more rain could quickly cause renewed problems. On the bright side, temperatures may trend milder, with less risk of widespread snow at low levels. Expect a return to a typical active UK winter pattern: wet, windy, with only brief dry spells. The main concern will be the cumulative effect of rainfall on rivers. The weather remains a major talking point, dynamic, changeable, and always worth watching.